Hi everyone, it's Sai here from HRM Basketball. Today we're going to have a look at something called the sync model. The sync model is something that I use with a number of individuals for a number of different factors. It really just helps me to help the individual understand what the situation is and what the factors are that may be contributing to their reoccurring injuries, persistent pain, poor health issues, whether that be physical, mental health, poor function, and poor performance. And you can take a number of factors and just apply it to this model, depending on which one it is that you are struggling with. So, I like to think of us all like a sink. Our body is like a sink, okay? And within our sink, we all have to have a level of what I call neuromuscular tension. Okay, so we have to have a bit of water in the bottom of our sink. And each person's neuromuscular tension will be at a different level depending on different various factors. Okay. Now, another word for neuromuscular tension is stress or a stressor. Okay. We need stress within our body. If we don't have stress, we don't perform. We don't function properly. We wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. Now, the sink also has a tap, and the tap adds extra neuromuscular tension, more stress to the body. So what factors do we have to have a look at that may add more stress to the body? Well, it might be that for a player, it's been an increase in training just recently. That will add more stress to the body. It could be that they've had a poor conditioning program, they've got poor fitness. Actually, that adds, when you combine those two things, poor conditioning, poor fitness, with an increase in training, well, that will add neuromuscular tension to that individual's body. I suppose tying into poor conditioning and fitness, you've got somebody who has too little activity. And then you've got an individual who might have poor recovery time between training sessions, or poor recovery strategies. And by recovery strategies, I might mean fueling the body directly after a training session. It might be, doing other activities to allow your body to recover. And it might be some of the other factors below, such as poor nutrition, poor sleep. Okay. We can't forget that if somebody has an actual injury, they go over on an ankle, they take a knee to the thigh, that's going to add stress to your tissues, add stress to your body. Okay. We mentioned there before poor nutrition. Now, this could be somebody's poor nutrition just in general. They could be eating too much, too little. They could be eating the wrong types of food for them. That will add stress onto the body. And particularly when it comes to those recovery strategies, nutrition is very vital to refuel your body, to repair the body following training, following games. Sleep is massively important both for physical and mental health. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. Sleep is when your body recovers. And so anybody who is having poor sleep will add more stress to their body. Multiple bouts of poor sleep, i.e. poor sleep for a period of time, that can be a massive factor in why somebody might have an injury or a problem. No relaxation me time. It's really common, busy at work, busy at school, busy training, games, life, family, all of these kind of factors. And actually, do you have relaxation me time? And by me time, that might mean reading a book, watching TV, listening to music. It could be mindfulness, relaxation, those kind of factors. A lack of those things is going to add to the neuromuscular tension. There are obviously certain lifestyle factors that will add a neuromuscular tension or stress to the body. And, those things might be tobacco, alcohol use. It could be certain medications that you're having to use. It could be a whole host of what we call lifestyle factors. Everybody has these daily stressors, getting up in the morning, getting out to school, getting to work, dealing with family members, friends. Some of those day-to-day stressors can actually start to add extra water into our sink. For some people, and particularly with a lot of people that I deal with persistent pain problems, there might be what we call negative life events. There might be some bigger stressors going on in life. They may be a trauma of some kind. Worries about things, any muscular tension in itself, anger, fear, low mood, any negative mindsets, any negative thoughts could turn the tap on and add some layers of water. So for each individual, you can have a look at these factors and just have a look and see which factors are filling up your own individual sink. Unfortunately, if there's too many of these factors, the sink fills up, and then as what would happen with a sink with a plug in it, the sink will overflow. Okay, and if the sink overflows, that's where you may be prone to injuries, to persistent pain, other health issues, whether that be digestive system, physical problems, mental health issues. Too many of these stresses on the body can lead to a whole host of different issues, okay? But what they could also lead to is poor function, poor performance, whether that be training, whether that be games. So if you're noticing there is a change in your performance, it may be worthwhile having a look at this sink. One of the big problems with an injury, persistent pain, a health problem, poor function, poor performance is it actually creates more of these factors that fill up the sink. And so in turn, these things can lead to us having negative thought processes, worry. It might mean that we change our behaviours, we change our lifestyle factors. It might be that pain or an injury is impacting sleep, and so therefore, unfortunately, this fills in the sink again, overflows, fills back in, which unfortunately then leads to the sink overflowing again. So what we want to do is have a look at these lists and see which factors are actually causing you an issue. And what we may be able to do is first of all turn off that tap. Are there any other factors that we can just modify straight away that means that we can slow down that water flow coming into our sink? Right. Sometimes that's not the case, but if we've taken away a few of them, it might mean that there's less water emptying, filling up the sink, and so therefore slowing down that flow. We then may need to have a look at how can we pull the plug. What sort of things can we do to pull that plug and enable us to drain that sink? So even if there is still some of those factors that we've not been able to modify, we're actually draining off the sink even though it's actually filling up. And this will hopefully take you below your overflow level and enable you to recover from an injury, recover from a health problem, reduce persistent pain, improve your function or improve your performance. So some of the factors that can help offload the sink, pull the plug if you like, understanding the pain or an injury, actually learning about it, getting somebody to help you understand all the different factors that may be filling up your sink, I suppose. For some people, we have to have acceptance. We have to accept the fact that we are not where we want to be at the moment, that we can't do the things. If we're just fighting these factors, well then all that's going to do is fill up your sink even more. It might be that you need to have a look for a tailored conditioning program, rehab program, certain therapies, and that may offload your sink. It's about getting appropriate rest, relaxation, and good sleep. It could be about just doing some pleasurable physical activity. So if you're injured and you can't play the game at the moment, is there other things that you can do? Can you cycle? Can you swim? Can you do yoga? Can you do Pilates? Can you just go for a walk? If you've got an injury to a lower limb, Can we still do some ball handling drills, even if that's in sitting? Can we do some shooting drills, even if that's in sitting? What can you still do to keep pleasurable physical activity going? Can we improve nutrition? Can we improve any of those other lifestyle factors we mentioned before? Sometimes it's just a case of actually planning all of this out. So once you know which factors are influencing you, it might be a case of you need to sit down and plan, and that might mean actually writing it out. It might mean discussing this with one another, with another person, family member, friend, coach, physio, whoever it may be. One of the big problems can be when somebody's got, a reoccurring injury, persistent pain problem, poor health, is that we tend to move away from people. We tend to be not as involved in the things that we enjoy and socially, and so therefore connecting with others can actually offload some of these problems. And sometimes there can be just distraction, fun, go watch a funny film, have some enjoyable things, watch comedy, whatever it may be. Okay. But ultimately, the more that we can start to drain the sink, the more that we can turn the tap off, the less likely, the better you're likely to perform. For some people, some of these factors aren't modifiable, so therefore, we have to just combat it. However, if we can bring that water level below overflow, hopefully that puts us in a much better position. Thanks for listening. If you want to find out more, go to the website. You can also check us out on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Drop us a message. If you think this is useful for people, please share, like and comment. Many thanks.